In July of 1518, a woman stepped into the streets of Strasbourg and began to dance. She didn't stop for hours, then days, then weeks. Within a month, over 400 people had joined her, dancing uncontrollably, some collapsing from exhaustion, some dying. There was no music, no joy, just pure, frenzied movement. This was no party. This was the dancing plague of 1518, one of the strangest outbreaks in recorded history. What could have caused hundreds of people to dance themselves to death? Strasbourg, part of the Holy Roman Empire at the time, was experiencing a summer of intense suffering. Famine, disease, and superstitions loomed heavily over the population. So when Frau Trophäa started dancing uncontrollably in the street, barefoot and sweating, it seemed like just another omen in a city drowning in despair. But then others began to join her. Day after day, the numbers grew. Eyewitness accounts from city council records describe crowds of people dancing wildly, unable to stop. Some reportedly screamed in agony as their feet bled. Some begged for help, yet couldn't control their bodies. By the end of it, dozens of people had collapsed and died from strokes, heart attacks, or sheer exhaustion. What's even stranger, local authorities encouraged more dancing. Believing it was caused by overheated blood or a spiritual curse, the city constructed a stage, hired musicians, and even opened up a special guild hall for the afflicted to dance in. Their solution? Let them dance it out. But what really caused this bizarre phenomenon? Some historians argue it was mass hysteria, a form of psychogenic illness triggered by extreme stress. The people of Strasbourg were starving, overworked, and spiritually terrified. In a deeply religious society, stress could manifest through physical expressions like trance states or involuntary movements. Essentially, their bodies were screaming what their minds couldn't process. Others believe it could have been ergot poisoning, a toxic mold that grows on rye and produces chemicals similar to LSD. Symptoms include hallucinations, muscle spasms, and convulsions. It's possible that a batch of tainted grain triggered delirium and involuntary movement in hundreds of people. Still, some theorize a religious or cult-like ritual could have escalated beyond control, or that the whole thing has been exaggerated through centuries of retelling. But the city records and physician notes from that time are consistent. People danced, they suffered, and some died. This incident wasn't even isolated. Similar dancing plagues occurred throughout medieval Europe. In the 14th and 15th centuries, people were seen dancing uncontrollably in Germany, France, and the Netherlands. It was often attributed to possession by saints or demons or divine punishment. But why would it stop so suddenly? After nearly a month of this outbreak in Strasbourg, the dancers were finally taken to a mountain shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dance and epilepsy. There they were prayed over and given ritual remedies. Slowly, the mania subsided. The city returned to silence. Centuries later, the dancing plague still baffles scientists, historians, and psychologists alike. Was it a strange collision of psychological trauma, toxic food, and spiritual belief? Or was it something else entirely, something we still don't understand? The deeper we look, the more it feels like an early glimpse into how powerful the human mind can be when pushed to the brink. If you find mysteries like this fascinating, make sure to subscribe. We explore the forgotten, the eerie, and the unexplained. So what do you think? Was the dancing plague of 1518 a case of mass hysteria brought on by a collapsing society, or were these people victims of something more physical, like poisoning? Either way, it reminds us how much we still don't know about ourselves, and how fragile the line is between sanity and chaos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's weirdest events, hit that like button, leave a comment with your theory, and don't forget to subscribe and share. See you in the next one.